Stefan Pulko sponsored the channel. iNet North Sea sponsored the channel. Peter Vinogradov sponsored the channel. Carlton Brooks sponsored the channel. Jono sponsored the channel. Ian Robson sponsored the channel. Ed Williams sponsored the channel. Richard Annan sponsored the channel. Michael Breitkreutz sponsored the channel. Johnny Bergdahl sponsored the channel. Zoltan Salas sponsored the channel. Adrian Tiberius sponsored the channel. Paul Ehrlich sponsored the channel. Neil Harrison sponsored the channel. ZocTube sponsored the channel. Michael Cogswell sponsored the channel. Athami Espantoso Luis sponsored the channel. ICT Saint Luc Jam sponsored the channel. Her Rose sponsored the channel. Thailand Travnik sponsored the channel. Lee MCC sponsored the channel. Hervé Tavernier sponsored the channel. PLPA sponsored the channel. Daniel Cranchet sponsored the channel. Jaffa Bob Fluff sponsored the channel. Mateusz Kozielski sponsored the channel. Domingos Castellanos sponsored the channel. Slacker Labs sponsored the channel. Mario Tomzik sponsored the channel. Mark Jones sponsored the channel. Tokra Crow sponsored the channel. Mihai Popa sponsored the channel.
Much better. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Hi, Joris. Welcome, Belgium. Hi, Mihai. I don't remember last time seeing you on the stream. Rene, hi, nice seeing you. Yeah, so let me put my headphones away. Tell me just if the music is too loud or not. So, I had one plan for today, and unfortunately, as always, plans are here to break. So, hi, North. So, the idea was, well, still, the idea is to look at what Alexey sent me. We've been talking a lot offline about this one. This is the SLS Gateway. It is DIY / you can buy it, but you will not be able to buy it currently. Most of the sellers are from Ukraine, so yeah, unfortunately, due to everything there and what's going on, you will not be able to get that one. But if you want to later on support them, don't forget that you can buy this device from Ukraine. But you can also DIY it. It's a Zigbee Gateway, but Wi-Fi gateway. So yeah, we will talk about it later on. The second thing that I wanted to do this stream was to build the Geiger-Miller counter that I've recorded video on, to try to build it together here on the stream. But unfortunately, I'm out of Zigbee modules. Actually, I have two of them. I will show you later on. I have put here even the microscope or something like microscope. So these are the two modules. Let me just check. I have three in my hand. This one is okay. This one is not okay. And yeah, so two modules, but unfortunately I forced them out of the PCB and I broke on this board one pad, and this is the reset pad, so I cannot program it. So it's trash now. And on this board I broke off dozen legs, so it's not working. So we will not be doing Zigbee Geiger-Miller counter, but maybe if you are up to the task, or if I'm up to the task, we can try and build this one. It's called Zintercom. It's Zigbee, DIY Zigbee intercom module, something similar like Marcel has built for the ESP Home, so DIY ESP Home doorbell, or like a commercial version, for example, Nuki Opener. So it should hook up to your current intercom, intercept the signal, and via Zigbee you can open and close the building door. So, how is everybody doing? I hope that everybody is safe. Yeah, 2 weeks have passed since the last stream, and unfortunately a lot of things have happened since. We will not be talking about those things, so let's try to cheer up things and talk about something else. So let me quickly close those two windows here. Jump to this window. Hi, Pedro. Cloudy London. Well, we have no sun. It's evening already. Sun is gone, which is something that maybe I can show you. Let me switch camera a bit. Which one? Mainstream camera, and then we turn on this red. Watch out, this is your main setup. So yeah, let me quickly show you something. I've been working on this for I think 10 days now, and hey Alexey, we were just talking about you. Thank you once again for sending me this. This was really a big surprise. So this is something, this is one of the future projects. I will be definitely recording video on this one. Well, I'm building it to record. Oh, Mario, I almost skoro te nisam video. Hi Mario, welcome to the stream. I've been working on something last, I would say 10 days or something like that. This will be video that will be sponsored by PCBWay. I would say that from all the projects, if I forget, for example, this Geiger Miller counter that I built, this is project that has been done, and there is a firmware. You just put on the components. You can even Meshtastic. I don't even know what's that. I have to Google it. So this is a project that somebody has done. You can order. I don't know if you can order pre-assembled board because it doesn't have a pick and place file, but you can solder it yourself, put the firmware up, and it's working. This project currently that I'm working on is also a project that you can buy either as PCB, then order a bunch of various components, or you can buy PCB pre-soldered, but you still have to buy some external components. But there is no ESP Home firmware, so there were some old firmwares, but they do not work how they should work, and they do not work with the PCB version that I'm working on. So this has been a really slow process, but I'm surprised how I managed to do a couple of things. For example, I managed to fix the battery meter. Let me show you the battery meter graph. It's interesting because this board is using solar panel, so the idea is for this device to be outside in the open, to work properly, to be in the range of the Wi-Fi network of your home, but to be completely independent. So this part, tracking the battery, let me just, let's say, yeah, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., okay. So as you can see, I've been heavily testing various types of batteries. For example, this battery here is very old battery that I should have recycled, 18650 battery. And it quickly loses capacity, but it's great for testing if there is enough charge from the solar panel or not. So this here was just testing to see that I can get correct readings, because as you can see, prior to that I was unable to get correct readings, and then later on to see the curves of I think I already did something on second, so second till fifth, and it was 3:15 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you can see those graphs here. It was very hard to get the ADC part of the ESP Home to work as I wanted it to work. Then I used the old battery to test charging of the board. This is without direct sunlight. Then here we have direct sunlight, and this is the new battery, which has a lot less oscillation if you see peaks, ups and downs, and it is able to steadily keep the board charged. So this was one thing. The second problem was one of the sensors that I got had opposite wiring than it should have, so it took me a lot of time to figure that one. Then I wanted to be able to update the firmware over the air, and you know, over the air and deep sleep don't work together. So I finally managed to have working switch. If, for example, I want or I need to flash the board, I just flick this switch. The next time the board boots, it reads the state of this switch, it stays awake, I push the over-the-air update, and automatically when there is a successful firmware update, so on successful firmware update, it automatically from ESP Home changes the state of this switch and the board goes to deep sleep. So yeah, RGB dial, RGB dial, RGB dial, RGB dial. This one here, maybe. RGB, oh, this one. Oh, okay. Yeah, if I show you something now, you will see one of the bugs or one of the issues with the 2022.3 version. Let me change here and let's go to lights. It's currently messed up. There should be a new version for this. This is HACS component. I think it's called something custom. How it's called? Custom simple light or something like that. custom light entity card, but as you can see, it has a problem or issue with the 2022.3 version of Home Assistant because of the change from whatever it was before to MWS that they are now using for the UI. So there should be a newer version. It's very easy to control. This is my stream deck, so stream table light, or this work light here. It pulls all the effects. This one is using WLED, so it pulls all the effects the WLED board has, and then I can control it through the Home Assistant, the wheel for the light here, and the effects. One of my favorite is fluid. Flow, sorry, not fluid, flow. Okay. Cancel. Hi, Extreme Ideas. Nice seeing you. Yeah, Joris, it is really, I know that somebody, I think Chris, he also does content on Home Assistant, posted on Twitter that he was forced to roll back to 2022.2 version because of the problems with the mini media player, which in the meantime were resolved, and there is a newer version of mini media player. But same thing that's happening here. Instead of showing the drop-down lists with all the effects, I now have a long list. For the mini media player, I think the problem was that everything was in one line, so it was like it would mess up your user interface. So it will take few days for everything to get fixed. I think that I received, no, Railing, camera and power distribution card have newer versions. But I know that they are trying to, not they are, the custom component guys that own the repositories are trying to fix those things. But it is really great. I love the media, the additions to the media. I don't use it that much. In fact, in a house here, we don't play radio that much. I know, but my oldest daughter, she plays Spotify in her room. My youngest one, from time to time, just plays whatever from YouTube Music. My wife rarely casts something from the... Is the music? Yeah, music is playing. Rarely casts something from her mobile phone to the Google Display. I don't know why she doesn't use Google Display via voice or by something, but yeah. But I still like the idea. I like the idea of using or streaming cameras. I created one automation that is now much easier to do, and it was like a year and maybe 2 years ago. I created automation to be able to, when there is a motion or door is open, that you get automatic notification on a TV and the stream from the camera is shown there. But it was really hacked. There was a problem with the Google Chromecast standard there. So it was not that simple as it is now. So yeah, DLNA servers. Also, I don't know why one of my servers is shown here, but I cannot access it. Yeah, DMS is not connected. Never mind. I like really what they did in radio browser. I think we found out that the site that it is pulling the... Yeah, and I will now redo everything and be using this radio browser. Although we were yesterday chatting on the Discord server. Yeah, there is a Discord server, and we were talking about what would be the easiest way to pull the radio stream, but not using the user interface, but using scripts or whatever. For example, to create same drop-down list with the list of radio stations, and then use play button to play it and things like that. And it's not that easy. I did find later on, I was browsing through the code, and I did find that they are using all the information in this radio browser is pulled from the site that is called www.radio-browser.info. So yeah, they're pulling all the information from that site. But someone will figure this out. So yeah, let me just kill this and go back to here. So this is my recording setup. One of the things that You know, you have Home Assistant and it's working. I know that my setup, although I did migrate from one machine to another, but since I'm using in Home Assistant interface, RGB dial in the back of your Home Assistant interface. Not this one. Mihai, are you talking about this one here? So, you know, you have Home Assistant running for some time, and we had power outage. They were working something on power station near the house here, and the problem is that they said that they will start working at 9 o'clock and finish by 5 o'clock. They started working before that. That is the, as I said, that is the, oh, I forgot already. Simple light entity card. It's called light entity card in HACS. Let me, nope, front end. So this one here, light entity card. But it does have 21, yeah. As you can see, there is a opened issue 8 days ago. This drop down has been broken, so yeah, nothing has been done so far. I think that nobody has even assigned it to itself, so I don't know if there has been any changes on the project. I hope that somebody is still working on it, but yeah, we will see. Until they fix, you will have issues with 2022.3 version. So we had power was gone for 8+ hours, and it came back. I was out of the house, so I have UPS, which was flat. When the power went out, first thing I did was I shut down the recording Synology because I didn't want to waste the energy. I didn't need it. So I shut it down. I left the Home Assistant running on the second Synology, and of course that same UPS is powering all my network, including cameras, including the Wi-Fi. So having 2 access points, 3 cameras eats up electricity, and when I started this adventure with Home Assistant, that UPS was able to sustain 2.5, maybe even 3 hours. Now it's around 1 hour or less than 1 hour. So what I did about 18 minutes before the Pedra, yeah, I was hoping that mine would last longer. So about 18 minutes before the battery was dead, I shut down Synology with Home Assistant, and this also shut down the Unify controller, but the network was still working because the access points and the switch kept the information on the network, so it didn't need controller at that point. And of course, when the last 5 minutes of the UPS power were left in the UPS, it started beeping continuously. So it was not like beep, beep, beep every minute or 3 minutes. It was continuous beep, and my wife said, "Well, kill it." So I killed it, and I went out, and I was whole day outside, and I just told my wife, "Okay, listen, when power arrives, first press this switch to turn the UPS on. After it turns on and the light goes green, then turn the Synology NAS on." And you wonder if the system will be able to heal itself or not, or what will happen if you are not there to supervise your home waking up. I have to say that my Zigbee network repaired itself. There was one external sensor that died between this in this period. I think that it was just trying to send data and establish connection and couldn't, and battery was already very low, so it just depleted itself. It's a Xiaomi temperature, humidity and pressure sensor that was sitting outside. So that one died, and I think 2 lights were out of sync, or the network didn't see them, although I did have ability to refresh it through the UI. So I went to Zigbee to MQTT, selected device, pressed refresh, and it did re-establish the connection. Funny thing is that the only thing that didn't wake up is Wi-Fi. And I always forget that I have very specific Wi-Fi and UniFi controller that is not operating on standard port. Since it is not operating on standard ports, when the access points and switches do wake up, they just power on, and they cannot establish the connection with the UniFi controller because of the non-standard port. And at the same time, I still haven't figured a way how to permanently make them search on that specific port. So I arrived home at 7-8 at night that evening, and manually had to connect to each of those devices via the wired network, because devices are on wired. And then I used the adopt and specific port in IP address, and I was able to hook them up. But because those devices couldn't wake up, so it was wired network was working, but wireless network is problem, because if it cannot be adopted by the UniFi controller, it doesn't pull the settings, it doesn't know how to route and things like that. So none of the Wi-Fi devices, none of the Wi-Fi sensors, for example, kitchen motion sensor is a Shelly Wi-Fi sensor, didn't work. None of the WLED lights around the apartment didn't work. Of course, those devices, except that kitchen sensor, are not used that often. They are more of accents. So if my desk light behind my desk doesn't work, or stairs light doesn't shine, or whatever, nothing will happen. But I think that one camera, because of that, couldn't connect. So it is a good idea to do tests like that, once a year or once every 6 months, just to be sure that if you go on a vacation, or if you go somewhere else, or if you are not at home and somebody else is, what would be the problem, and is there a way to mitigate that problem before that problem arises? So I know that I have to fix, the only mandatory thing for me to fix now is my UniFi wireless network. Wow, I've been talking a lot. Yeah, wow. We better start talking about something else. I don't know if Alexey has already disappeared or not, but once again I must thank him. He sent me. Let me try to show you. Okay, and I think. Give me a second. Okay. Properties. Oh, you're not. You're here. Okay, great. Nope. Of course. Yeah, whenever you need something, it will not work. Let me just... Oh, give me a second. Cable. Over the table. Cable over the table. Come on. My table is complete mess. I had prepared everything for this stream, and then I figured out I was missing something, and I had to... Yeah. Oh, it's working. Oh, nice. So... this is this one here. I bought this cheap USB camera. Huge Zigbee network totally broke when you add device on second Zigbee network with ZHA. The only thing that really, Jaime talking, the only thing that really pops in my mind is my guessing that they are using the same PAN ID or channel ID and they are clashing frequencies between each other. That's the only thing that really pops in my mind. Remember that Zigbee network is very similar to the Wi-Fi network, and I promised to make a video about correctly setting up or optimizing Zigbee network, because most of us, including me, I have to be honest here, you buy, for example, any kind of controller, you plug it in, you connect it to ZHA or whatever you have, and you start working. But those are same as Wi-Fi routers or access points. There is default channel, but there are other channels. I did a couple of times previously, but it's out of sync already. Checked what is the spectrum range at my apartment, what Wi-Fi channels were used, and then moved my Zigbee network to the other channel. Also, I used different PAN ID, which is not just a security thing, but it also helps one network not overlap with the other, because unfortunately, no, that's the problem. Zigbee doesn't show up in the Wi-Fi analyzer. So what you have to do is you have to analyze your Wi-Fi network, and then I will definitely make a video on that. So there are how many? 11 channels used in Europe for Wi-Fi, and I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 channels that are used for the Zigbee. And some of those channels match, but the others don't. So for example, I will just say that from top of my head. Let me find it. Let me find it here. Wi-Fi Zigbee network range. Whatever I did want to type here now. Wi-Fi Zigbee network. No, range. It's not range. It's so this one here. There are a couple of nice documents on them. So as you can see, you have channels on the Wi-Fi, and then you have Zigbee channels, and sometimes they overlap, and you have to be careful on trying to find Zigbee channel that has more free or none other Wi-Fi channels touching it. It helps with the network. Yeah, I wasn't explaining very well. Yeah, channels, okay. So that can be one thing. The other thing that can happen is that you can see me. Yeah, sorry, I'm idiot. Just remind me. I always forget to do that. I'm no prof. I should start streaming games. Maybe I will be better at that. So yeah, this is the graph. Sorry. The other thing, which I'm not sure if it's I didn't use Deacons, so that's the, sorry, you said Hue Zigbee network. I never used Hue. I don't know what standard is it. Does it have some kind of channel hopping or similar? Hue Zigbee no. I don't know how to type. How can I change the channel? To change the channel, go to settings, Hue Bridge channel as change Zigbee channel. So there is a possibility to change the channel on the Hue also. So you can try playing with that. Zigbee dongle, but didn't work with little bulb. Okay, try. Most of my network, I'm really happy with my Zigbee network. So I don't know. I know that people had experience. I know that for example, Johnny, I don't know if Johnny is here or not. Johnny had a lot of problems with the Zigbee network, so he was switching a couple of controllers, and I think that if I remember correctly, he's now using Sonoff, and he moved everything from ZHA network to Zigbee to MQTT. I always make fun of that, and that's true. I think that on the last stream or stream before that, or on Twitter, Frank said something like, yeah, I know a lot of people will be surprised, but I'm using Zigbee to MQTT too. So I don't want to say that that's good or bad, but it definitely shows you that this product is a pair, or for me it's better than ZHA. I have been testing ZHA, something that I didn't do previously. When I was testing Sonoff USB stick, I forced myself to go with the ZHA to see, and I like it. There are some things that I miss in ZHA. There are a lot of devices that are not available in ZHA, but overall experience, if I would not be tech savvy, if I would be, just plain user wanted to do home automation, I would definitely recommend and go with the ZHA. It's much easier than Zigbee to MQTT, although Zigbee to MQTT has also become more user-friendly, more user-friendly. For example, previously you had to do everything in a YAML file. You can now use UI interface, web interface to control it. Hi, Vair. Yes, I did already install update for my mini player, but unfortunately, as I said, some other components still do not have updates, so that's the big issue. Okay, so let's dive into this. Now I need different screen. So this here, once again, Alexey, thank you. I did mention at the beginning of the stream. Alexey sent me this. We were talking whenever I was talking about my slash USB slash Zigbee controller or Sonoff Zigbee controller. Every time he said, "Nah, you have to try and you have to see the SLS Gateway." And I did read. I never spent too much time reading, but I did read up about the SLS Gateway, and for my current setup, I don't see use for it, but there are tons of uses that, for example, if I would have different home setup, or if I would be starting something different, this would be much better device than any other device that you have. Once again, we have a stream sponsor, just kidding. This time we are drinking as budget energy drink, Limet. So, you see, Pedro, you see, Johnny is not here, and I have prepared even this microscope camera. Yeah. So, two things this board has. This one is expressive ESP board. It is connected to one antenna. Let me unscrew it. I didn't unscrew it. I was very gentle on this device so far. The most hated screwdriver I have. I like the concept of this screwdriver, but I hate it because it has no torque. Nope. Used little lamps with Zigbee to MQTT, no issues at all. But Pedro, the issue I don't think is in the lamp. The issue can be in the coordinator. I think that most of the problems or most of the evil stuff comes from the coordinators. Although I've seen none of the issues with. Oh, I don't know. I've tested. I'm currently using First, let me answer. I'm currently using slash SLE SLAE.SA. Just open the page, Andre. Sorry. I'm using currently this one here. With the longer antenna, you have option to get longer antenna, and it's been working great for me. Previously, I was using CC2351, so the smallest one. The problem with the smallest one is the maximum capacity of the Zigbee devices. Yes, you can flash alternative firmwares and get much more. but it's just the CPU or MCU on it is not that powerful. So then I went for this CC2652RB, which was the number one supported, officially supported by Zigbee to MQTT, and also they were listed as, you know, number one. There was an issue with them, and I have to stress this out. I'm not paid. I bought this device. I just oh, I have something for that. Did you hear something? Yeah, I don't know if it's working or not. Who knows? Yeah, once again. Ta-da! This one. So let me copy the URL. I'm bad at streams. I'm really bad at streams. I'm also bad at thumbnails. God, I hate thumbnails. Okay, so there was one issue with this stick, but it has nothing to do with the stick. About maybe about a year ago, or even more now, I lost the idea or concept of time, so I cannot tell you. About a year ago, I think just before the pandemic started, they had problems with shipping. They would send the packages, but DHL is really German Post, were losing packages, or the packages were not shipped on time, they were late and everything. And of course, those things also happen. So, you know, when you order something, you have to expect that the package may be late. Yeah, definitely. My kids ask me not to do that, so I'm forbidden to do those thumbnails. So the problem was that although the packages were late, they were not responding to the emails from the customers, and customers were really angry because they paid for something, the package didn't arrive, and what's worse, they didn't answer the emails. And this is probably something that I also hate as a buyer. Okay, if some things are not right, you know, just tell, sorry guys, the package has been sent, here's the tracking number, we're trying to see what's going on with the package, please wait another 2 weeks, don't worry, we will refund you if you don't get your package. You know, just normal communication. But they were not answering anybody. I was contacting them because I was recording the video. I already bought the stick, I received it in 10 days, 7 days. I was trying to contact them to ask them a couple of questions, because I was interested in a couple of things in regard to this stick, and I was not able to they were not responding on Twitter, they were not responding on Telegram, and they had official Telegram channel where you can contact them. They didn't respond on emails. So people were really, I will not be using any inappropriate words, but they were not happy with what's going on. And then all those people that were having issues starting very big flame war on the community of the Home Assistant. So you have tons and tons of people who had no issues and it was working great, but you also had 10, 15, 20 people that did get their money back, but were still furious and pissed on them. So this is my just a warning, heads up, if you search, I have it, it's working great. And if I would buy any other, I would not buy this one. This time I would go for this one, but I still haven't tested this son of coordinator as much as I tested that one. That one is currently running network of 50 devices. This only had 3 or 4 devices. I know it can support up to, it's the same. Insides are pretty much same. They are not the same, but basically they are the same. So this device here, which costs $15, is same as this device that costs $26 or something. Yeah, okay. What did I want? Oh yeah, I unscrewed the board. So as I said, on one side you have ESP board, and on the other side you have Zigbee module. And when you combine it, you have Zigbee Gateway. I don't know why I wanted to show you Zigbee module. I don't know, but yeah, I know what I'm doing. So the idea of this device is you have Zigbee network, you have already your Wi-Fi network, and you connect it to the Wi-Fi network, and you have bridge. When you want to configure something, you connect to this device, which I still haven't done. So in the next step, we will be connecting this device to the USB power cable and providing 5-volt power. After we do that, we will input our credentials and log into the Wi-Fi network. Sorry. So let me quickly get those screws back. And yeah, as I said, you can then use this device as independent for some things. You don't need even any other home assistant or home automation software. It does work with various home automation softwares. It has embedded support for the Zigbee to MQTT. So if you, for example, want to connect it to Home Assistant and use this as a gateway to Home Assistant, it will be using the same standard packages in MQTT, so Home Assistant will automatically know what devices are there, how to connect and how to control them, etc. So it's pretty versatile device, and as I said, if you want, you can definitely build it yourself. There are some smaller components here that are not that easy to solder. USB cable is not that easy to solder. I'm talking from my bad experience with them. More or less everything is not that big problem except those two things, but if you have a hot air gun, they should be no problem also. So let me close this box. Let me find a USB cable. By the way, let me show you. So there is a switch screen. So there is a website. I will post it here. And yeah, as I said, I wanted to do today this one, but look how I'm talking for the last 45 minutes. There will be no way for me to do it. And I also have this open here, but since we will not be definitely doing this Zigbee indicator or Geiger Miller counter, let me show you. So the guys are using this here, or using Xiaomi gateway, old gateway. They pulled the insides out and created the new PCB that is also SLS gateway. So you can use the housing, so this one here. So they've created the boards that you can do yourself. Well, it has ESP module on one side, it has also Zigbee module. As I mentioned, these ones here, they're pretty hard to get. I think that there are a couple of shops in Ukraine. As I said at the beginning of the stream, you definitely will not be able to get them. But if in the future you want to support guys there, you know, they're not that expensive, but you also are supporting guys in Ukraine. So yeah, what I wanted to provide power to it. Oh my god, it's not USB-C. Just kidding. The LEDs are on. Let me find my mobile phone and follow the guide. SLS Gateway. Nope. Okay. General information, additional gateway features. So blah 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 blah. It can do this, it can do that. This is the board I was telling you that can be hooked up if you remove the insides of the Aqara gateway, replace it with them. You can have in the same box, same thing here. First run. I think that there is a, yeah, I should connect to the let me find it here. Let me quickly connect it to my network and then we can, it's here, it's open, connected. Let's try it like this. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. Let me kill this light here. Ooh. Nope, that didn't help. So it allows you to select network. Let me quickly log in. My IoT network. And that's it. Yeah, extreme ideas, unfortunately. Yeah, really. So, web interface. Let me quickly find it on my network. Nope. 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 Let me quickly find it on my network. Clients don't update. SLS Gateway 1-to-1. Ta-da! Mihai, nice seeing you. Yeah. We'll be seeing you next time. So this is the gateway. Let me just increase the fonts. This is the latest version of device. Zigbee devices 3, uptime 1 minute, last save, free heap. So this is the memory, firmware size, SLS gateway, IP address, gateway, blah 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 blah, Z-stack, address, revision, state, etc. Let's see this for details. Create your visualization. You can create your own visualization. To do this, go to the action script. You need to create UI HTML. It will be available when accessing UI control devices. You can use the built-in HTTP API. The example displays the temperature value of the sensor. Example dashboard. Okay, I will not be playing with this one now. Let's go back. Objects, Zigbee devices. Let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. Actions, files, backup, update firmware, save, reboot system. Settings, Wi-Fi, okay, this is set up. Time and location. Link, MQTT setup. So we can use this one to connect to existing MQTT server. And then this gateway, oh. Alexey also sent me these two devices, though these are the Mijia buttons, and I prefer Mijia buttons over the Aqara ones. But you probably already know that. Why didn't I use Cowpod? Why didn't I use Cowpod? Okay. Oh, my desk is mess. So why I love those buttons, let me show you. Let me just quickly clean up this mess. So why would you even want to use this device? I don't know if it can be used. It cannot be used, but why would you want to use this device? For example, if you already have Zigbee to MQTT network, you have a house and you have either a small detached house or you know, some work area, workshop or whatever that is detached, that has Wi-Fi range but is out of Zigbee range, you can simply create additional network with it. So as I said, why I love this button. You can just press it. You don't have to go for the center of the button. Whole area of this is a button, and it really works great. My kids have them in their room. They support multiple commands or actions. I know that in my youngest daughter room, she has 4 actions programmed on this one: single, double, triple, and quadruple click. There is also hold and release, things like that. It's, in my opinion, one of the best Zigbee switches there is. And as you can see by the logo, it's not Aqara, it is Mijia, I think. So let's try and pair it, but I hate opening them. Give me a second. Okay, it's open. Let's put it in a pairing mode. Let me find something with very fine tip. There is a button here. Let me just see. Alexey, help. How do you pair devices? Join. Enable join. Ooh, blue light. Shining very bright. This light has flashed a couple of times. For most of those battery operated devices, if you can force them to be awake, try do that. You know, by pushing the button or something like that. Start interview. Wake up button. Screen, change the screen. Sorry, I'm not, this will be my last stream. I will not be streaming anymore. And that's it. Device is now paired. So we can pair additional device. Let me pair. I have this motion sensor. One of the things that you have to be aware with this SLS Gateway, the list of supported devices is much shorter than Zigbee to MQTT. I don't know if anybody else has more devices supported than Zigbee to MQTT, but it supports even less devices than, for example, ZHA. Hi Andrea, nice seeing you. So okay, we now have 2 devices that have joined. last seen now. We'll put it here on the mic, so whenever I wave my hands, it will see me. Converter ID, Lumi model, power, blah 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 blah. Rename device. You can also same thing as in the Zigbee to MQTT. You can also, if you, for example, connect this with the Home Assistant, and there is a way to. Okay, let's see. Link MQTT setup. If we go to MQTT, let me just find something. So users, nope. Services, Telegram, Zigbee, Modbus, HomeKit, MQTT, MDNS, Telegram. Well, Andrea, a lot. Half of the time I didn't have the right screen on, half of the time I didn't know what I'm talking, but that's normal for me. We are looking at the SLS Gateway. So let's go back to documentation. This one here, this is a home page, blah, 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 Zigbee. Okay, that's okay. Log, how to set up. Yeah, I'm not using Wi-Fi settings. We have everything set up. Time settings, I didn't set it up. Link. MQTT, there is a native setup because it can be connected with the let me quickly do that. Link MQTT. Well, while I'm here, topic Zigbee SLS retain states, MQTT retain LWT. You must rebooting. Connected, cloud not connected. Yeah, as I was starting to say, there is an option to use.
R. Kennedy ESQ subscribe to the channel.
Cloud, connect this device to the cloud, and then also have mobile app on your phone. I think there is Android and iOS, although iOS is in development or something like that. That's what I've read. Let me close this one. I know that there is a specific for Home Assistant somewhere. Native API. This is for the cloud connection. Hardware setup. Red lights up when message arrives from Zigbee to MQTT. From Zigbee, green lights up when join mode is. Oh. Okay. We are rebooting. I accidentally unplugged it. Update firmware. Update, reset, reboot. Okay, let's go back. Simple bind, touch link, and there is here integration with Home Assistant. Can easily be integrated Home Assistant, Home Automation, integration, Zigbee can be used together with various. MQTT, this is done. Config. Oh yeah, here. That's what I want. Zigbee config. That's here. Okay, so this one has to be enabled. Home Assistant MQTT discovery. Okay, if we go to my main setup, because configuration, integrate. I know I will change screen. Just give me a second, please. Oh my God, 57 devices. Let me switch to my so this is my main setup, but I still don't think that I've seen okay, IKEA Lumi motion sensor. That's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. I will not be seeing them here. Let me go back to this and check objects, devices. They are connected. Services. So it says that MQTT is connected. MQTT prefixing Zigbee to a Zigbee SLS. So I would need to nope. I would need to, oh my God, where is the MQTT now? It's in the, no, it's not in the services. Where is the MQTT browser in Home Assistant now? Listen to events. Where can I subscribe? Where can I subscribe to events? No, it's not. It didn't pull anything. Under integrations. Devices, yeah, I know devices MQTT or here in MQTT, but these are only the ones, filter integration MQTT, but these are only the ones that are using the topic Home Assistant. This one is not using topic Home Assistant, it's using Zigbee SLS topic. And I know that previously in developer tools you had ability to subscribe to specific MQTT nope topic. I'm probably blind. Configuration, integrations. Yeah, but I can only configure it here. I cannot subscribe to specific topic. Where is, do you have installed MQTT lens? no, I don't like MQTT lens. No. Die. MQTT Explorer. Here it is. So what I would need to do if I would want to import in them in Zigbee to MQTT, I would have to change the topic from Zigbee SLS to Zigbee to MQTT, and then it would publish it in the same topic. And what I know is that the format of the sensor data is same in the SLS as it is in the Zigbee to MQTT, and this has been done on purpose so you can easily import it in Home Assistant. But the question is, why doesn't my Home Assistant see them? Just a second. This is Zigbee to MQTT. No. Devices. 57 devices. This one here has a lot of devices. Vibration. How it's called? It's the same one as Luca switch. It's Mijia wireless switch. Mijia wireless switch. I have 2 of those, which means the third one hasn't been loaded. Same is for that motion sensor. And the question is, why didn't it load? So yeah, there is something, the data is in the MQTT, but it's not being opened by the Home Assistant. Shoo. Let's switch to documentation. I will, just give me a second. I just have to make an email announcement to all the members of the family that the system will be down for a couple of minutes. Just give me a second. Just kidding. Okay, main system is restarting. But my recording setup is also connected to the same Zigbee to MQTT network, and it's still not pulling anything here. So module works to this. Yeah, but we don't want to. MQTT discovery is enabled. MQTT discovery is enabled. Clear starts. Parse cache states. Let's see. So version 22.01. I know. Okay. Let's see now. Go to MQTT 56 devices. Geiger entrance, Lucas ceiling, human corridor. Nope, it's still not here. It's still not here. Zigbee devices. I don't know if map has been, yeah, it is working. Let's add, just for fun, additional button. Oh yeah, I forgot. Alexey, I know what's the problem. The problem is that data for device is initialized only at the time of the pairing. So if the device has already been paired, in order for you to see it in Home Assistant, you have to repair the device. Repair. Let me see if my main setup, it is starting up, so we can do that. So okay, we will repair the devices. Enable join. Let me open the button. Come on, baby. My Home Assistant is up and running. Okay, so here it is. I remembered. So here it is, Lumi sensor switch. This one, yeah. And let's try the motion sensor. We should now also see motion sensor soon. Up. This one here, because it's using the same name, because this one device was previously paired here, but as you can see, it's been added now. Let's check. Yeah, it's here. So this one here. And just to prove I remembered correctly, brand new device. Thank you, Alexey, for the millionth time. Really, thank you. Open it up. So this device hasn't been previously added to anything. Just give me a second. It's very, when they are new, it's a bit hard to, okay, open them. So I have to put it in a pairing mode. So we only have now one Lumi sensor switch, and we now have the second sensor switch, but the pairing process there is done. It's done. Log. And that's it. We now have two switches. The pairing is still not finished. Yep, pairing is finished. Okay, so thank you, Alexey. Have fun and be safe, and thinking about you and the family. So yeah, here it is. As I mentioned, great thing about this one is that it's DIY project, so if you're into DIY things, you can try to do it yourself, or B, you can try to purchase it, but it will be hard to purchase it currently because of all the bad stuff going on. It allows you to bridge between the Zigbee network and the Wi-Fi network, and you can use it with Home Assistant, but it supports multiple other platforms. Let me just quickly go back and show you. I think there is a Majordomo, Home Assistant, directly Node-RED, IO Broker, Alex, Yandex, Google Home, HomeKit, Domotics. So yeah, it works for various things. There is also ability to directly connect it with the cloud service and use the application for it. So it really is very versatile device, and the best of all is it may look very similar to Zigbee to MQTT in one way, but it's completely different. Config. You are able to bind devices here, bind them together through this, or bind them together, meaning that same thing as IKEA, lights and remotes are bind together, so even if the gateway is down, you can still use the switch to control those lights, etc. But as I mentioned, the list of supported devices is not that big. Let me find it, please. Come on, where are you? Simple touch support for Lua script. Yeah, there is a simple language that you can use also to program the automations or things that some of the actions do, if you know Lua language. Supported devices. So currently only 180 watt device from 23 different vendors is supported. That's in my opinion the biggest issue you may have with this device. Yeah. So we chewed through the SLS Gateway. I will definitely be playing a little bit more with this. Definitely be playing a bit more with this. I want to see what else can be done with this. I know there are some other options, some other firmware, some whatever, I don't know. So this will be maybe topic of one of the other videos. Mark, that's great. I'm a bit sad, jealous, mad, all at the same time. This is not the first time that something like that has happened, and that's why I'm a bit bad mood towards the Shelly once again. So they approached me a couple of weeks ago. I think on the last stream I mentioned, couple of days before the last stream, I mentioned that I'm expecting a couple of devices. So I was expecting Shelly TRV. There is a point where I will tell you. I was expecting Shelly TRV, and I was really looking forward to testing it. I love those TRVs. Everybody knows that I'm using Tado, and I have a couple of Tado TRV valves. I have also Tado Smart Thermostat. I did record one video about the Zigbee, and I did like it, but unfortunately I didn't keep it because it didn't suit my plans or my ecosystem. So I've given that one away to somebody who wanted to test it. So I know a couple of my friends were now buying TRVs, and I said, listen guys, wait, don't buy anything. I will receive TRV and I want really to test it. If it's good as it should be, then go ahead and buy it. But it never arrived. It was supposed to arrive 2 weeks ago. They say that they don't know where the package ended up. I never received even a tracking number. I don't know if the package really was lost or not. I really don't know. And at the end, I wouldn't say that I don't care. I did tell them that it didn't arrive. So if they find it, they will probably send it, or maybe they will not send it. Hey, Johnny. But what they promised me is something that I was even looking more than to the TRV, and I was really looking forward to receive TRV and to test it. It was supposed to be 4-way scene switch. So just a second. And after that package, they supposed that they said that they sent me also this here. Well, let me turn on the other camera and I'll show you what this is. Let me just quickly put away those switches. I've seen after they've told me that they will send me those four-way scene switches. I've seen that also somebody else has made Zigbee version of that one. I think maybe Aqara. I'm not sure. That's the long story. With cooperation with them is also a long story. Yeah, I will not be talking about that. I'm pissed on them too. So they sent me this here. Let me change the camera. So they've sent me these two. Let me kill this. We don't need. I prepared for Johnny. Hi Johnny. I prepared for you microscope, but you didn't show up. So I will now have to turn the mic off and remove it because it's in the way. Oh my God. No comment. Let's move this away. So this is standard power metering relay switch, which I don't know why they put power. I don't think that power metering adds anything to the cost or complexity, but maybe I should use that bullet. So this is two-way switch, but it's still used to control the light. The four-way one, which is it's called 4S or 4A or 4 something, 4S I think. You have 4 switches that have no relay behind it. They have box like this and they just intercept the signal and allow you to automate it. So you have dummy switch, which really is not dummy switch, that you can then use to control whatever. So if I look at my apartment, I replaced most of the lights in my apartment with Zigbee lights or something. Yeah, Zigbee lights. So I don't care about relays. I care about switches to leave them on and to be able to control them. And for example, to have one switch with 4 routines would allow me to have switch next to door when I can turn the inside inside light, outside light, or create coming in scene or leaving house scene on those buttons. And that is awesome. And that is really awesome. That's why I'm telling you about this one. It's very specific because it's not 1L. It's not Zigbee, it's Wi-Fi because Shelly makes Wi-Fi devices. But it's great because you can have your own Zigbee network around the apartment and yeah, just look at this. So in one package you buy mask. In the other package you receive switch with three different holders for modules because they don't know what type of module you will buy, and then you still have to buy module. I don't know which suits this one, but yeah, a lot of plastic, a lot of everything. But if you look at Shelly as a company, they are really trying to copy Facebook. Bear with me a second. When I say Facebook, I mean Facebook / Google Nest / iPhone Geosystem, where of course the pricing is much lower than Nest or Apple ecosystem, but they are trying to push into that, you know, you pay a little bit extra, but you have simplicity. I don't say that I'm okay with that, but I've now I now understand why they are doing or why they are going into that direction. In terms of those relays, I would definitely, if I would go for Wi-Fi, I would definitely go for the Shelly ones. And I've had a couple of suggestions to flash, for example, those 1Ls. I have 1 PM here, 1L, 1. I have a lot of Shellys here in the drawer. And people are suggesting to flash ESP Home Tasmota. I don't see reason, because their firmware is really okay. Their firmware is really okay. It's working great. I don't have need to flash it. There are some other devices that when I see I have to flash, but those no. In terms of your device with the no neutral switch, why I think that no, there isn't. That wouldn't put any extra cost, in my opinion. It would add a bit of complexity, but I don't think that would be that big of a deal. So why there is no LED, I don't know. But it really feels premium. Although it doesn't feel as premium as I would like it to be, but it doesn't feel, like cheap Chinese plastic. It really feels like, certified. It will not easily catch fire, break, or something like that. It does have a bit of premium on it, but I myself am using a Vimar. And for all my switches, power outlets, masks, everything is Vimar. And comparing Vimar to this is like cheap Chinese plastic. And it's very, but it's good, it's, you feel the switch, you hear the switch. It's not bending when you push it. Yeah, I still haven't tested this one. I'm still hoping to receive that wall switch 4 version or scene selector with 4 switches, because for that one I see a lot of potential and possible ideas on what you can use it for and what you can do with it, etc. I've been by the way, on my Discord server. Note for everybody here, on my Discord, go to Discord server. Great, there is a my dog is in this box here, these are all the SMD components. If you have Discord account, go to my Discord server, and there is a channel called Great Finds, Best Buys, whatever. I received a couple of, I think 10 days ago, once again from Banggood, a list of 10, 15, 20 products that they want to send something from that list, not everything, 1, 2, 3, 4 products from that list. They want to send it to me to do video on them. I wasn't really impressed with anything I've seen there. So I didn't so far respond to that email, and but what I wanted to hear from any or all of you is that if you find something that looks interesting but would like to know more about it, tell me. I will order it. I will record video on it, so I can give you, info if it's worth or not. As I said, I would, with most of the things there, I wasn't impressed. There is, I think, one. What? Holder I cannot print at home for these. Are you talking about these? This is not printed. This is from the Shelly device. Oh, these. Oh, for yes. So I'm so blind. You know. Yeah. Dog. Pass. Strange dog. You wouldn't believe. I've read what SMD strip holders do you have in that box. Johnny answered you Robin Writer's design. And I don't know why I did read SMD. I was thinking about LED. And I was thinking, what LED holders? I don't have LED holders. Sorry, my brain is not functioning. Yeah. Yeah. These are okay. There are better versions. These were old ones printed in the PLA. I still need to reprint them on the... I still need to reprint them on the in the ABS, and I need to insert the magnets inside. The magnets are used so you can automatically hold those boxes one next to the other. So you put 3 magnets inside, then you just stick one to the... So you put magnets on 3 places and just stick them. Yeah, I've seen the ones. These are, as you said, these are. What? Yeah, I really like them. But these required parts. That's why I didn't build them. For example, if you want to print these, you can just print them. You don't need a screw or magnet or anything. They will hold your components inside without anything. You can just print it. If you want, you can then add magnets to hold them. I'm pretty impatient. You know, I just wake up at Saturday morning and I think, oh, today I want to do something, and I want to do that by the end of the day. If I don't have components, I don't do it. So that's why I went for that design and not these here. These are great because they have this holder. Clamps do require, I think, something inside. I forgot. I watched his video. There is also something going inside there, spring or something. So yeah. I didn't see the. I will check. I do follow him. He's the one that made also the. No, he didn't make the. He made the pick and place machine, small pick and place machine. That's correct. Yeah, it's. Those are a couple of things that I would definitely like to have, but I have zero need for them. So he made that vacuum pick and place machine. I would like to do the open pick and place machine, or the how it's called now. It's not Looney or whatever, or Looney PMP or something like that. I will probably when I reprint those boxes in ABS, I will then try those new ones. So I would like to try that. Hey Eddie. So I would like to try that open PNP project, pick and place project, Lumen PNP. Yeah, Lumen PNP. I don't know why. I would like to have it. I don't know what I would do with it. You know, I have maybe at my house I have currently 5 projects with 10-15 boards. So I would run that machine for what? 2 hours and it would sit. But still, it would be great to have that. I would like to get. I'm lazy, so I would like to find the most convenient way to solder something. So I'm more and more inclined to go towards the heat plate or something like that. So there is that great new project.
David Sparks subscribed to the channel.
How it's called? I've seen somebody's video a couple of days ago. I know. You have to go 2 components. You have to prepare positions, everything. I know. but I just love watching those machines work. Maybe somebody can hire me, so you know, when I finish my normal work, when I finish with the channel, I can work as a security guard in some factory or workshop having pick and place machine. So I can just watch pick and place machine work. Great Scott, yeah, Great Scott had. I really loved that build plate he created. Although there is that other guy that is constantly creating thinner and thinner motors from the PCB motors, and he also created that round one, which I also like. I don't know what I would do. Probably the most convenient way for me would be to, you know, buy the ready-made small whatever heat plate and use that for the projects that I have. You know, most of this stuff that I want to do, and yeah, Johnny, you missed. We cannot do. You probably seen it on the Discord. I mentioned that I'm out of modules, and while we are already there, let me show you what I was mentioning when we started with the stream. So this hot plates. So as you can see, when I was removing this from the board, I managed to, oh my god, this is terrible. I ripped all those connectors here, so there is no copper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So this is MS1PA1, and then I also have this one here that is missing the only one copper line, this one here, but this is reset, and without reset I cannot program it. And these were the last two MS1PA1s. So unfortunately that's why we didn't even start building the project, although I did prepare everything here. You know, the box is here, all the components is here, everything is here. And when I was going through the modules, I've just seen that I don't have any spare ones, and I cannot find them nowhere. I cannot order them. They are out of sale, out of stock, out of everything, as it is currently with everything in the world. So I cannot build another DIY Zigbee Geiger Miller counter, which I really wanted to do. My idea is, I have this one here. I have the other one. It's MS, let me just note, AE18. Mind you, I'm self-taught. I finished economic university. My high school was more in arts than it was in technology. So most of the stuff that I do is self-taught, testing, you know, trial and error. I put acid on my fingers, then I figure out it hurts and things like that. So there is source code for this, but it's above my head to be able to compile the source code to work with MS1PA2s. MS1PA2s you can buy anywhere, but MS1PA1s you cannot. And the modules themselves, Zigbee modules themselves, are very similar. There is only reversed something which is documented, and I don't know how to change that in a code. Yeah, so I can probably find where I have to do something. Unfortunately, the author of the project is very inclined to do anything about it. You know, it's project is all. It's probably the same as me. I recorded videos. You know, I recorded videos about whatever 3 years ago, and now, you know, somebody now comes and says, you know, listen, in that video 3 years ago, which I've just seen and you've completely forgot about it. You said this and this, and I don't know what I said. You know, I forgot what videos I did 3 months ago, not 3 years ago. So probably the same thing about this game. So there is no new firmware, there is no new update. They are not inclined to do anything new. So yeah, until I find somewhere, and I hope that somebody will make them. Although I don't believe, because these MS1's PA2s should be replacement better modules, although they are using all the same components internally. So I talked about that too much. So then, Johnny, you also missed, we were talking, should we do this or not? So this is this one can use various Zigbee modules. This one can use PA1s, PA2s, and also MS1s without PA. And I have PA2s and MS without A. I have 5 here. I think I have 10 more somewhere else. So those modules I have a lot. But there is also difference. If I want to power this through the battery, then I have to use MS1 modules. If I want to power it through the power supply, meaning from 5 to 12 or 20 volts or something like that, then you have to use either those PA1s that you cannot buy or PA2s that I have a lot. So I was even prepared today to build 2. I've prepared even 2 boards here. One to be built for the to be powered via battery, and the other one to be powered via the mains or power supply. But we started chatting about other things, and that's where we ended up. Yeah, I think that I've already built one of those. This is the one that's sitting here. It's working. I wanted to build another one, as I said. I already have ESP version of the Geiger Miller counter, but I wanted to throw that ESP version out, reuse the tube into this one, and then put one Geiger Miller counter here in this apartment and the other one in the summer house, which is about 40 kilometers away. And then, you know, compare the values of the radiation peaks. I also do that for the lightning. I never did. Again, my technological skills are not that high. I reuse components. I find something that somebody has done and then try to, you know, snitch the code, see what I can do with that code, change it if I know how to change it, and incorporate in something else. My idea was to use to triangulate the lightning strikes from 3 positions, but I never even started. I have measurements taken from 2 positions, but I'm still missing the 3rd, and then I decided, you know, I don't want to do triangulation. It's this one here. Let me entertain you. Nope. This one here. I will post you a link to GitHub, because the site is in Russia. All the guys that work on there are Ukrainians, but still I will post you a GitHub link to the... It's neutral, it's country neutral. I know. It is. Yeah. I'm just, you know, I really love the open source community. If I look at some of the gaming things that I was involved in, and yeah, if I look at gaming communities I've been, you know, they start very well, they become very toxic very fast. There is one guy on the Discord server that I know from that period. He's a great guy, and there are still a couple of us that have been in contact, but with most of the people I simply can't log in. I will, after the stream, I will look. I was really trying to, but all I was able to. Is the camera? No, it's off. I cannot show you now. All I was able to get is the RTSP streams, to RTSP and RTSM or something like that. I wasn't able to get the JPEG. No way. And I know that when I was testing, but I can't remember. I'm not using Octoprint anymore. I'm using Clipper. When I was testing Octoprint, I know that at one point I was using IP camera, but I think that maybe I was also using it with the RTSP, and the problem was that it was overloading the processor. And then I installed something to do the conversion. I know that I've played, I know that I've tested it, I know that I didn't end up using it. I use the USB-C camera. I have a lot of C270s, Logitech, small ones. But I know that I was playing with the MJPEG. So I was saying, really great. I'm not using DSM-7 at my setup. I have it at recording setup, but don't tell nobody that my home setup still is not DSM-7. Nope. Nope. No way. Not upgrading. Yeah, DSM-7 is great. I'm waiting for DSM 7.2. I had so much issues. With DSM 6.0 and 6.1. And that's why I said for those major releases I will wait at least 1 year. And I did, in all my videos, I said that my main setup is not on the version 7, because I know that I will have one major issue with one of my Docker containers on version 7, and that's the only reason why I haven't upgraded so far. And not to mention that PhotoStation is not as good as it is in 6.2. I have DSM-7 on the recording setup, and I do every day log into DSM-7 and work in DSM-7. I test with DSM-7, so I have experience, but my main setup, no way. I like Synology. By the way, what happened to them? They said they promised that they will get back to me and we will record some more videos. They never did. It must be something, problem with me. I should start making thumbnails and maybe that will. There is API token that you can probably snitch from somewhere that lasts some limited time and try to use that one. But I think it also works with it also works with the RTSP. I didn't see any way to be able to put MJPEG out of Synology. It supports incoming MJPEG cameras, but for a restream, for single cast, multicast, I didn't see it. On 7.0. I was testing on 7.0. It took me a bit because all my cameras for test setup were offline, so I had to connect the cameras, find the power supply, so... What time is it? Whoa. Almost 2 hours. I've been talking. Yo. Arduino, or how it's called. Zita! Just a second. Please, just bring it. Just a second. Wave to camera. Oh, nobody can see you. Okay, so one of those projects that I never recorded video on, and I really wish it was recorded, is this all-in-one Groove beginner board for Arduino. So let me tell you a story about what happened a couple of days ago. I received this board, I think it's now 4 or 5 months, and I'm really terrible at recording some videos, but I wanted to do something special, and my idea was to record this with my daughter. This is Groove beginner board. It's really great board. It has a lot of sensors. They are all connected, but have those mouse ears that you can break and pull out all the sensors from the board. But it's really great for learning to program, learning Arduino, but also working with the sensors, for example, using analog versus digital, I2C, SPIs, and things like that. So it's great for kids, but also great for anybody who wants to learn Arduino. But for kids, I said, no, I don't want to. She's more artistic, so I said, I don't want to force her to learn coding. And I've downloaded the app on the computer, which is drag and drop programming. And we were going through the lessons. There is a great book on how you start with the LED to turn it on, turn it off, then make it flash faster, slower. Then what is the next one? You just go through one sensor, then the other sensor, then combine sensors and things like that. It's very easy to follow, and since it's drag and drop parts of the visual representation of the code, you drag a loop, then put items inside the loop. It's easy for them just to follow between pictures. Just look at the picture in the book and then copy that into the IDE or Visual Programming Studio. I don't know how I would call that. And we were going through lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and at one point, my idea was to show her a couple of lessons first, and then let her continue on her own pace through all the other lessons. And at one point, I just said, okay, listen, my throat is killing me. I have to take a break. I cannot talk anymore. And she was like sitting next to me and said, yeah, you've been talking for 47 minutes without a stop. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So again, me talking for 2, but yeah, it would be very, very strange stream if I would just like, yeah. Okay, so what's next? As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I've been working on that one big project. It's not big project, it will be part of the new video, and I'm really hyped about it. I don't know, there are some videos that I like more, some topics I like more, some topics I like less, but I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm really happy that I was able to figure out some things on my own, and there were not a lot of examples or samples that I could copy from. So I did end up reading a lot of documentation, reading a lot of examples, then implementing them myself. And what's best from this project that I'm currently working, this is the battery. Sorry, this is the battery graph. I've been posting it on the Discord server also. Is most of that will also be reused in the Hygro boards project. So as I mentioned, I'm not using on most of my boards currently I'm using ESP Home, and I want to improve on that code. I want to add some functionality. I want to build on top of that ESP Home, and when I'm ready I will release the code itself. It's not code, it's ESP Home YAML, whatever it is, not code. I know that Johnny will, whenever he hears about the YAML code, he wants to put, yeah. So when you can already find it at my GitHub repository in the ESP folder. All the plans there are using that code, but it's old version. The new version will have better battery tracking. It will have, which I managed to fix with this project I'm currently working. It will have better deep sleep prevention. So currently deep sleep prevention in Hygro boards, my ESP code is not working. This one has been, I know that you use ESP Home yourself, but whenever you hear I've been coding in ESP Home, you don't like that expression because that's not coding. Am I right? Or was it Pedro? No, I think it was you. I think I've seen somebody, you said YAML is not coding, you something like that. So I managed to have now working deep sleep prevention in ESP Home, meaning that yes, I can define runtime, yes, I can define length of deep sleep, yes, I can prevent deep sleep from going on. So for example, if you want to push the over-the-air update, which was my biggest problem, each time when I wanted to update 6 of my boards, I would have to either take them out or take my laptop, which is not that heavy because I'm using Surface Pro. It's very light, but still you have to go to each device, plug the cable in, program it, and I hated it. When I already had Wi-Fi device, I wanted to push the over-the-air updates over the Wi-Fi. So now I finally have that part. I also have checks that if firmware update was successful, it will automatically go back to deep sleep and flip the switch, so it doesn't wait for me to do that. One thing that I would really like to be able to do, but this is I think limitation now with ESP Home, and that's the ability to pre-upload, pre-prime the over-the-air update, so that instantly when the device is connected, firmware is ready and sent. I don't know if you've noticed, but each time when you say upload the firmware, it doesn't pick up the firmware that is already in the folder. It does at least something, even if no files have changed. So I'm missing that part from the ESP Home side, to have over-the-air updates primed, and when it sees that device has logged in, to try and push the over-the-air update. That would shorten the gap, because the problem is with all the devices that I'm currently working on, they're battery powered. This one will be solar, so it will be recharging its battery, but Hygro boards are not solar. That's something also I want to try and work it, but not now, just too much of stuff to do. So that would increase usability, experience in regards to updating or uploading firmwares, but also would definitely improve the battery life. For now, for the solar project, I flip the switch, I wait till I receive information that the device is online, and I see it from information here. So yeah, the device itself was just 40 seconds ago, so I have to time it and say, oh, it's now online. Go to ESP Home, press send the firmware, then wait for 45 seconds until the firmware is compiled, although I think that part of it is already compiled. Then it's uploaded, then it goes to sleep. It would shorten that, and it would improve the battery life. Yeah. Okay, so what's next in terms of stuff I will do? So I have to definitely record this Groove Seed board. I don't know if I will be at the end doing it with my daughter or if I will be doing it alone. She did play, she liked it, but it just takes a lot of time. I want to record the video on the Notify platform as an integration, not as a service inside Home Assistant, but like as an external platform. This is something that I want to do. What next? I have a couple of things that I want to do. I forgot now. Yeah, the list is very, very long. The list is very long. Okay. So, is this it? Anybody here? Hello? Hello? No, I will probably, I'm waiting for the version 7.1. To be honest, I'm waiting for the version 7.1. Hey, Ed, nice seeing you. Oh, stop crickets. I don't know if you can hear those crickets. I spent a couple of hours trying to make them work. I also tried to see if, let's see if this works. I also spent, you cannot have normal stream unless you have voice changers, so I know that everybody would appreciate if I would stream like this. Probably no. Okay, forget it. That's why I'll probably the 7.1 version I think is currently in the beta, so I will probably wait until 7.1 or 7.1.1 is out. Then I will possibly migrate. My problem is, as I said, my problem is one Docker container that will probably stop working. So I hope that by that time I will have alternative for it and I will be able to use that alternative. I know. Yeah, I'm still, as I said, my recording setup is DSM 7. My main setup is DSM 6.2.4. whatever is minor version. I'm also using virtual machine, but my biggest issue is the photo station. This is one of the tools that we'll use a lot at home, and I know that I will lose some of the capabilities. USB support or lag? No, I have no issue with that. All those devices that I use can be mapped to the virtual machine, so I don't have problem with that. I even recorded videos on how you can overcome that problem. There are currently even USB drivers, third-party USB drivers or hacked versions of USB drivers that you can use. So that's no problem. One thing that I hope I will not be having issues is a random USB disconnects. So I didn't know that they exist. I've seen people talking about, yo, my stick is randomly disconnecting or whatever. I said, like, nah, it doesn't happen. So I'm experiencing that with Google Coral Drive on the 7.0 and VMM. I tried everything I could think of. I tried everything I found on the internet, ranging from fake drivers, non-fake drivers, powering it through the external power supply, hubs, different connectors, different cables. The device itself just disconnects, and it doesn't disconnect in a way that you can go and attach it once again. You have to physically remove the device from the Synology, physically insert it back, then go once again and do whole setup in a virtual machine. Add it, connect it, go to Home Assistant, do something. So Synology is aware of that problem, not for Google Coral. For Google Coral, they don't care because officially they don't support Google Coral and they don't care. But they did accept this issue with disappearing USB devices. Although USB devices are not officially supported, they said that they are looking into adding some of the backward compatibility because they think that this is issue in the kernel, and I really would hope that this will be fixed. I have a Google Coral that I wanted to test with FreeGate on the virtual machine, and it works when it works, meaning that while the device is connected, it's wonderful. I can do object recognition, face recognition, whatever, a couple of streams at the same time. I think I tested with the 4 cameras at the same time in the virtual machine, Home Assistant, on Synology, and it was like just chewing all the frames, no problem. But it works from 5 minutes to 5 days. It just randomly disconnects, and when it disconnects, you have to go to Synology, unplug cable, put the cable back, go to the console, DSM, log in there, go to virtual machine, edit the settings, add the USB drive, go to Home Assistant, edit then once again, and it's just like pain. If it would be once in a month, I would accept it, but it sometimes happens every 10 minutes, so it's not usable. Okay, I think I've passed my time, which my family gave me for today's stream. So yeah, no, thanks everybody for joining the stream. I really apologize that we couldn't do Geiger Miller project. I will try to get my hands on those modules if I manage to find them somewhere. I'm so sad that I destroyed, it feels like, 2 last surviving boards in the world, and I destroyed both of them, so yeah. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. Once again, thanks Alexey for sending me SLS Gateway. If you don't know what it is, we've talked about in the first part of the stream. Very nice device. Thanks everybody for your support. Thanks. I will be seeing you next time. Oh, click like. Yeah, click like. I forget that part. Don't forget to subscribe, click the like, join the Discord server, all that fun stuff. Thank you everybody for joining, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye, and have a safe and quiet weekend.